All right, let's do a full body paddle blast, and we'll do it real time, follow along. And I like to start on my lower body. You can start anywhere, but if I'm going to be bent, I like doing my back after my lower body. So I'm gonna start on one of my outer calves. I should say my outer lower leg, your peroneals here. And I'm gonna go both directions. I'm gonna go up and down. And then I'm gonna angle my leg in. I'm gonna get all of my claws on here and go up towards my knee, down towards the top of my ankle. So this is going to get the maximum use of all these tiny claws. I am already heated. I just came out of the sauna. I pre-oiled and preheated just to save some time here. And you could, I guess I took my hat off. I had a stocking hat on. You can keep a sauna suit or hat on the top of your body to help keep the heat in. It's hard for me to film in my sauna because of the lighting. Okay, so now I'm gonna go cross fiber. You do what feels good for you. And you can see I'm already getting some blood flow. It's feeling good. I'm now gonna switch to my other side. So I'm just gonna angle. I have both my grips the same, and I'm gonna start out going with the muscle fiber. It's just kind of a little more gentle to go with the muscle fiber. Small claws. I always start out with a prep tool, the small claws, which would be the PaddleBlaster, the FasciaBlaster, and the MasterBlaster. So if you want to keep your heart rate lower, sit down, and if you like to get a little more of a workout in and get your heart rate up, standing up will, increase your heart rate, cause you more effort to use. Okay, so now I'm gonna go, so everybody line up like this, and go across the peroneals. So if you try to get kind of the angle, just so you cut your inside of your knee and ankle, you'll be able to hit with more claws there rather than just going across. Okay, and all right, so now for our calves, I am just gonna go behind, and I'm gonna go from knee to ankle, back and forth. So I'm just hinged at the hips. I'm sitting up, and then I got a hinge. I'm keeping my traps down, so my good space between my shoulders and my ears. And then I'm gonna go cross fiber. And also, my wrists are in a nice neutral alignment. This is just so we don't have sore spots in other areas. You wanna try to use good posture and good form when you're blasting. And just remember, if you've been just blasting with a FasciaBlaster only has 3 claws. We have a whole bunch more on here, and that's why this is so much more efficient. Okay, and then I'm gonna go up and down. There's actually 36 claws on here compared to 9 on the MasterBlaster, 3 on the FasciaBlaster, but all of these tools are the small clawed, good for prepping, gets the blood flowing. Okay, and now I'm getting really warm in my sauna suit, and I'm gonna hit this inner part of my lower leg here. I'm gonna get down to the ankle, just like I did on the outside. And again, I'm trying to be mindful of my posture. Because if we're slumped, we're just gonna, I cause myself more back pain when I do that. Okay, now I'm gonna switch. So I bring, if I'm on my left leg, I bring that left hand over to the inside of my knee, and I'm gonna go right across here. So I'm already oiled and heated. Just going across that inner part of the knee. So you have your inner thigh comes in and connects down here. It's a great way to get that connection. We have from where it inserts in here. And now I'm just gonna go down from my ankle and up. And I'm gonna take it across. Now if you need, you can put pillows or put your yoga ball, you know, do whatever you need. And maybe this isn't a good position for you, but I have found this is really comfortable for me. Okay, now I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna hit the calf again. Hit them both. If you haven't tried a sauna suit, boy, they're excellent to heat up, easy way to heat up to blast, or just, you know, keep warm if you're sitting out in an open room or by a space heater to keep part of your body covered. Now the same for this other side. I just cross my ankle. Like I said, if you need something behind you, you can always rest. Use your yoga ball. These are, see how I can just rest it right there? All right, so I'm gonna start. Position yourself like this. So if I'm on my right leg, my left hand is on the outside of my left ankle, and I'm right up here, and I'm just gonna start gently going up and down. Get behind the ankle. I think I might have started this way the last time. So you can bring your right hand above your right knee. So this is how you use the weight of the paddle with you, is just to sit and move it back and forth. And if it seems like a workout, it is a little bit of a workout, but you will get used to it. I've been blasting 3.5 years, and I just enjoy it. I embrace that it is a little of a workout. If you go fast enough, it's cardio, but otherwise it does help tone your arms. Now I'm gonna cross, and I got my left hand right outside my left ankle and my right one over above my right knee. And I'm gonna go across the inside of this knee. Nice and gentle. This actually feels really good. All right, now I'm just gonna continue, and I'm gonna, in the same position, and I'm gonna come all the way down. It's that kind of the inner, it's the sartorius, that inner thigh. Not the inner, but just right outside that quad. And I'm gonna go back and forth. And now I'm going to bring both my legs together. Again, I'm already pre-oiled, but just in case any of it got wiped off, I'm just gonna put a couple more squirts. You always wanna use plenty of oil. You want the blaster to glide across your skin. You do not want it to pull or drag. So plenty of oil. So you can do a little bend. So I'm kind of going over to the left I'm getting all the way up in this hip flexor, all the way up to my hip bone. Right below my knee, I'm going cross fiber. I'm going with the muscle. I do whatever feels good. Kind of spread my legs. Butterfly them a little, get inside that knee area. Come and I hit this right hip flexor. Come down. I'm gonna bend this leg. I'm gonna get the inside here where we started on the other leg. So just hit this inner eye here. I'm gonna actually get my ball over there because that held it up a little higher. Okay, now I am going to, just gonna kneel up on my knees. I wanna get the hip flexors right in here, okay? So just make sure I really work on this area. Okay, right here, that hip flexor. These get tight from sitting too much. And the other one. Okay, now I'm going to hit these inner thighs, and I'm just going to go back and forth. Okay, so you see I have great blood flow. All right, so I have one hand, left hand, palm facing away, actually both of them, and I'm just going to do the right side right now. And you can squeeze and use one hand if you want. Works better for me when I'm standing, so I'm going to guide it. Now I'm going to flip, go the other way. So I'm doing that left inner thigh. And let's just give it a try to sit up on a chair. This is actually probably easier. Just squeeze your legs together. I want to make sure I open up and just go back and forth. So now I'm just kind of grabbing in the middle of the paddle. Another option, I have two kitchen chairs at the same length. Get some space between them. And just do an underhand grab. And up here, tilt that in. Okay? Lots of options. Go in each direction. my other one. So I put my inside hand on the bottom. Just go. Okay, I'm just gonna open it up. I'm gonna change my hand position. Okay, so my inside hand is on the top. I'm just gonna go across. Okay, and now I'm gonna do my saddlebag area. So this is, I like doing this just sitting off the edge of a chair or the edge of my yoga ball. And I just take, and it's super easy. So now if you're the workout girl, just stand up and go at it. All right, so completely, whatever level of intensity you want to work at. If you're trying to conserve your energy, you know, just kick back on that chair and move those arms back and forth. You can kind of lock your arms out and just rock back and forth. My spine is neutral. My wrists are staying neutral. My hands, let's talk about that. I'm not gripping. I don't have a death grip. All of those things will cause other pain problems down the road if you do it too much. So I'm just kind of going the same, you know, hold it up with my leg, the length of my femur, and just going back and forth, cutting inside that knee. I think pretty much everyone has something they can sit on. I mean, this can be a bench, an ottoman. It's just nice to have, you know, your glute hanging off the edge. And so then if you blast your glutes, this is where I would blast my glutes as well. I would just let it hang off the edge. Make sure you got some oil up there. And just come on, keep on turning it around. And if that's hard for you, maybe you need to stand up or take this one hand behind and turn away. We all have different levels of flexibility. And so when I'm just off the edge, I can come right under that sit bone with this PaddleBlaster under here and just scrub that glute hammy tie in. Chair's wobbling. Okay, I'm going to switch sides and do the other leg. I'm just going to stay here on, I can show you a little bit on the yoga ball. It's kind of just the same. It's anything you want to hang off of. Okay, so pull my suit up, put a little more oil on. Make sure you're blasting you to drink anytime you need it. You always want to stay hydrated. So see how I can just get that whole side area here. And in this position, I got my left elbow on my left knee, sitting up pretty straight. I'm gonna knock my oil over. And if you are all oily, it helps to put a towel on your yoga ball. Ask me how I know. Okay, so now I'm going to take this left hand and I'm going to bring it under, okay? I'm going to roll that on my ball a little bit and just catch. I'm going to put a little more oil in. I'm going to start catching this outside here. So you can see I'm just at that glute hamstring tie-in. And now I'm going to come up and I'm going to bring my left hand behind. I'm going to do the rest of that glute. I'm going to bring my hand around. Can I comb up it? Over. See how red I'm getting? So with my yoga ball, I keep it nice and squishy. So in the beginning, I think I had too much air and I just sat on top of it where, you know, it didn't have any give to it. And I like it with a little less air, so I have more stability. Okay, I'm going to just grab a sip and we're going to move on to the hamstrings. All right, probably the easiest way, if you're going to want to conserve energy, to do the hamstrings is just to lay down on your back and whip those legs over. Okay, so just going to make sure I have enough oil on. Okay, so I just spray my oil and then I'm just gonna come back and catch it with the blaster. And move the ball out of the way. All right, so this is probably the easiest way to do the hamstrings. I'm gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna bend my knees so those tendons are relaxed. I blast all the way to my knee, but I don't go digging behind where my kneecap area is. Just be mindful of your body. Don't do anything that doesn't feel good. When I started blasting, so I'm just going back and forth. I had fibromyalgia, widespread myofascial pain syndrome, and blasting was tender, but as a massage therapist, I knew that sometimes, you know, trigger points and tender spots, you know, they are tender when you massage them. And so it just got, I just had pain relief every single time. The frozen shoulder, and first time I used the blaster, it was like the best pain relief ever. So if you are having a tender area, just go really light and just think increase blood flow to the area. I have found anytime you can increase blood flow from just, you know, fibromyalgia, soft tissue pain, it usually makes it feel better. It always has for me. So, okay, any of you workout girls, okay, come up in a crunch. You can always make this easier or harder. Come into a crunch. Another thing is you can take your yoga ball and put it up against the wall. Scoot your glutes closer to it. Okay? And you can come up. Well, you may have to, if your arms are long enough to reach. So then if I'm lifting myself up, those hamstrings are contracted. You can also do this against the wall if your arms are long enough. And I told someone to do that and they're like, I can't reach that far. So, other ways that you can do your hamstrings, of course, sitting on the edge of the ball. Okay, so I'm just gonna come out, sit on the edge. My foot is in oil, sliding. Okay. So I sweat and oil when blasting. And this may or may not be one of your favorites. You just want to make sure you don't roll off your yoga ball. Whoop, just like that. My foot is oily, so it's kind of slick. Another option is just off of your chair. Okay? I have my yoga ball on the bottom, so it get me a little clearance here, back and forth. And of course, if you want to do one leg at a time, bring it up and the other. I'm hitting the wall. All right, I'm just gonna give my thighs a little bit more, tops of my quads here. Okay, we're gonna go on to the abdominals. I'm just gonna pop my top off and get oiled up. Be right back. Okay, for the abs, I am already oiled up and can show you kneeling, but I do like to lean back and I like to be on my ball. So we'll start out if you are just standing or kneeling, and I can go each direction. I come all the way up into my ribs, all the way down. And when I do this in the shower, I go from ribs, I go all the way in one swipe. Oh, I'm totally gonna catch my pants. But if you don't have pants on, you can do that. It feels really good with the PaddleBlaster to go all the way through. So you do have to be careful of your hip bones with this big blaster. We have to be careful with all of them, but really can nail them with this. And get down low. So I'm gonna lean back over my ball. It's just more comfortable. And I've just covered my yoga ball and I'm gonna turn it lengthwise. And I'm just gonna give myself enough room. Okay. And I'm gonna just plop so my head stays up, okay? And if you have your feet next to a wall to give you some stability, just go back and forth. If you don't have a yoga ball, you should get one. They're wonderful to stretch on. Fascia yoga, I love fascia yoga along with blasting. And I can extend my legs straight out. Get that side, the other side. So I'm getting my obliques. Other side. So I pull that one knee up and extend the other just to help me keep my balance. Switch. All the way up, you can get a little glute workout. Okay, if you need more, do a pause and do some more. Okay, so now an easy way to get that love handle area is just to kind of lean back here, take your PaddleBlaster. I have the bottom into the floor, and then I'm just going to lean on my ball and go back and forth. Hitting that oblique, keep rolling over, you can get that love handle. And this way you're not holding the weight of the blaster. I should have moved those chairs if I was done with them. You can also pick it up, if I'm leaning on the ball like this, get that side. If you have the spinal flexibility, I do a lot of fascia yoga and a lot of yoga, so I'm pretty flexible. And then I'm going to do my other side like that. So I'm just coming onto the ball, flipping, and turning into it. Okay? So then I just gotta go back and forth here. I'm predominantly right-handed, so my left-hander is always more difficult for everything. This is just a nice way to lay into the ball and not have to hold the weight. You use the weight and the size of the PaddleBlaster for you to your advantage. All right, and then moving on to my lower back. So I can do that. Since you can see me here, I'm just gonna stay. So this could be standing, I could be sitting cross-legged, I could be kneeling over like a child's pose. Any way you want that works for you. And also, when you use oil, don't rub it in. Spray and then grab it with the blaster. You don't want that oil to absorb right away. So just get your entire lower back. I like, just make sure I'm still in camera view here. I like to take and rock down here on this SI joint area, lower lumbar, just kind of back and forth. Scrub that area up and down over the right. It feels really good. Just go as high as you can. Alright, so this is hard to do with your clothes on, but then I can take right here and get this whole lat area. So just hit pause and do the lat areas here and then over here. So doing my left lat, both my palms are facing backwards. Actually, I like this one, so I'm going to put pressure, doing my left lat, pressure into the lat. So I have my palm facing forward and this palm facing back. Okay, and then get right up under your armpit, down the side, get those ribs, those lats. All right, now for the center of your back, you want to just come right back up here and get this the best you can. If that's really hard for you, you can always take your blaster, grab it in the crease of your elbows, and just do a, I can't really show you with my clothes here. Let me see if I can move this out of the way. Okay, so for the center of that back, you can just kind of do, let me get a little oil. So did you see that? That's how I oil my back. It's just spray. So I can take this blaster, one on each elbow, and I can just do like a shoulder shrug. Can't really go back and forth as much, but if you have limited range of motion to reach back here, otherwise take the right hand over, left hand down. I just need a little more oil here. Get that left trap single-handed. I'm going to go back and forth with the muscle and across. And this,
if you rest your elbow like on that chair, you wouldn't have to hold the weight of the paddle up here.
And then I'm going to come right up into my neck. And I'm turning my head left, turning my head right as I do the right, left as I do the left. All right, you don't have to me it just feels good. And now I'm on my left trap, going cross fiber with. All right, now pull this up a little bit. Okay, so now we have our arms left, and you can do, it's kind of hard for me to go all the way across. Well, actually today I can. Maybe this is low enough. All right, so I can go all the way across here with my PaddleBlaster. I thought I was getting, oh, you gotta stay below your clavicle. Right below your collarbone, sorry. Make sure I don't get caught on my top. I think I probably tried this once filming. I got caught and thought, oh, not gonna work. But that does work good. Okay, and then if this is the only blaster you have, you make it work for your arms. And this is, I would rest my arm on my body or something so you don't have to hold the blaster up, and just kind of grab in the middle, do your forearm, back and forth. And again, I'm already preheated and pre-oiled. I'm turning my arm. Getting that bicep. So I'm just resting the PaddleBlaster here. See what I'm doing? Come down to the forearm. So I've got the PaddleBlaster on my knee. Feels really good. Okay, I'm coming up. So now I am on my knee, holding with my hand, coming up into my front of my shoulder. We already got the back of the shoulder. We should have got it pretty good when we were like this, right? If you need a little more, it's left hand, right hand. Getting that back of the shoulder. Okay, so now we just have our tricep. Okay, so why don't we just come down here. I need a little more oil, and I got cut on my clothes. Okay, and I'm just gonna use my body again. It might be easier to move your body to it. Otherwise, probably gonna have to pick it up and move it. I think another time what I do, like this. Oh, there you go. So I got the stick in the floor. I'm just moving my arm. However you can get to the underside of that arm. Okay, move it back and forth, holding your arm out. I think I kind of like it on my leg. That's pretty, I think this might be my favorite. So if this is all you have, make it work. Otherwise, you just grab another blaster and hit the tricep area. Just make sure you don't clock your funny bone, you'll get a zinger. Okay, now I'm gonna go to my other one. I'm just gonna start out with the tricep there. And it always hits my bralette, so I know I need more oil, so I'm just letting it run. I see a lot of people, when I'm teaching class and stuff, they'll spray the oil and then they'll be rubbing it in with their hand. And yeah, you just don't want it to absorb that fast. You want it to, blaster claws to move it around. So remember to try to maintain good posture. Don't slump over. Now I'm hitting the insides of the arm. Put your hand down, get it too. Why didn't I think of that on the other one? Get the whole forearm at once. Let's go back to the other one, get that hand too. Hit the edge. And turn it over. I'm gonna turn it feels better to have my forearm go with it. Down, I put the blaster on top now. I'm just gonna get up here into my shoulder. I'm holding on with my right hand. I'm up, moving the blaster with my left hand up on my right front of my shoulder. And now I'm taking it to the bicep, resting it on my knee. Okay, so everybody got that? I'm just resting the blaster in my knee. Moving my arm out, getting my bicep down into my forearm. Okay. So you do need a face blaster. If you just have the PaddleBlaster, you really need a face blaster, okay? You need to finish up like your neck area with the face blaster, coming around nice and gentle on my neck. I'm at skin surface, just like I was putting on lotion. And it's nice to do this in the mirror too. So get your face blaster, do your neck, your face, and then I also, you can use your PaddleBlaster for your knees. It's gonna depend, of course, everybody's different, gonna depend how bony your knees are and everything else, but try to get a bend in them, and you can go all around them. Or just grab your FasciaBlaster and go in for some fine tuning. This is when you go in and you take your bigger claws now, your massage tools, and hit your muscles anywhere you need deeper work. And then we also, I would go around my knees and then my ankles. Make sure you can still see here. So go around my ankles with my FasciaBlaster, the tops of my feet, okay? And then I like the PaddleBlaster for the bottoms of my feet. It's one of my favorite. And again, just oil them up. And this works so nice just to go back and forth and to take and cradle it. Works excellent. Not on the top of the foot, it's a little rough. Right, and then after I was done with the foot, again, I would take my mini 1 or my mini 2 and I would come in and do some precision work. I like to go in between my toe joints, come all the way in between them, around my ankle, and then front and back, both top and bottom of the foot. And then I also take my big claw tool and go across. I run it over all my muscles. And then if I'm not going to work out and activate my muscles, because if you activate your muscles, you get a nice flushing, I would go back with a small tool. That would just be the whole entire thing. If you're new, don't worry about all that. You work into it and do what feels good. But this would just be the natural process. The small claws, the bigger claw, and then go in and do your precision work with your nugget. The other thing that we didn't do is the scalp. The PaddleBlaster is kind of hard on the scalp because, boy, you really tangle your hair. You can kind of do it, but definitely Mini 1, Mini 2 are my favorites, and the FasciaBlaster for the scalp. All right, so finish up, and again, this was just kind of an extended video to show you different positions to get in that I have found useful. All right, have a great day.